So today we will be discussing about agile methodology and the Scrum framework. Basically, what is agile methodology and what is Scrum framework? Basically, so basically, agile and Scrum framework basically is used for the small modules iteration times. For example, the project duration doesn't matter here, but the module duration matters here. For example, if you want to complete few modules within 2 3 weeks, 4 to 5 weeks, 5 to 6 weeks, then basically you can use the Scrum framework. Basically, the Scrum framework basically it's for basically used for the short duration modules to finish the short duration project and not project. It's a modules in short duration basically. For the duration can be 4 to 5 weeks, 5 to 6 weeks basically. And this basically we can say this can be segregated in sprint, task, and the set of user stories. Basically, you can say first basically you have to create the set of user stories, and then basically you have to create that. You have created the set of user stories, and then basically you have to create few one backlogs, and in that backlog entire user stories of the project contains, and that user stories basically will be segregated as a task, and then task set of tasks basically you can say 3 weeks task, 2 weeks task, then 4 weeks task, and like this basically entire tasks are designed, and then basically this task are basically has to be segregated in sprint wise. So sprint 1, sprint 2, sprint 3. In sprint 1 basically you can add 15 tasks. In sprint 2 basically you can add 5 tasks. In sprint 4 basically you can add 7 tasks. Like this basically entire user backlog, user stories backlog basically you have to segregate in sprint. You are segregated in, yes, differentiating in the sprint basically you can say. And user set of sprints basically you can say it's like a set of user stories, and user stories are basically defined in set of tasks basically. And like this basically in Scrum framework basically there are many roles like owner are there, product developers are there, product owners are there, and then basically developers are there, and the Scrum managers are there. That is basically product owner. In this basically there are 3 to 4 roles. One is we will discuss about 3 roles, that is product owner, and second is Scrum manager, and third is basically developer is basically who creates the task. The basically product owner basically you can say they are responsible for each and every functionality of the module. So basically they should know each and every functionality of the module. That is basically a role of the product owner. Product manager basically they are responsible for each and every delivery of the product, which is given the which requirement is given by the product owner. And the developer basically are the developers who develops the project, oh sorry, the modules according to the task given by the Scrum manager basically. And Scrum manager basically you can say they are responsible for each and every output basically. If there is any error, then basically product manager is responsible because he is responsible for the delivery task basically, that you can say. And in this basically we have seen what is sprint, what is task, what is user stories. In task basically from date and to date comes, and like this basically entire modules are defined. First basically user stories are created, then basically user stories are put into user backlog, story backlog basically you can say. And then basically that story backlog basically are segregated in task, and then basically task are set. There are for example 100 tasks are basically defined, and then basically that 100 tasks basically has to be um, put into a systematic manner. Basically we are creating one module, and one set of modules are basically equal to one project. So basically few one or two people can't do the entire project. So basically the project has to be um, categorized and has to be segregated to many peoples, and shared to the many peoples, basically you can say. So project has to be shared, modules has to be shared. For that basically we have created sprint, we have created set of tasks, and then set of, for example, 100 tasks are there. 100 tasks are basically segregated in set of sprints. For example, sprint 1 basically contains 10 tasks, sprint 2 contains 10 tasks, like this. Basically 20 tasks, 30 tasks, like this. 100 tasks are shared in sprint 1 to 10. So that basically sprint 1 to 10 basically we are going to give to 10 teams basically. For example, the project is very big. So if the project is very big, then basically few people can't do the project. So basically we had created 10 sprint, and this 10 sprint basically we are basically going to give to the 10 vendors. Basically we assume that the software company basically is not have their internal teams, they have the vendors. Vendors are basically set of software companies, and like this basically we have created 10 sprint, and 10 sprint are divided to the 10 vendors, and the 10 vendors will be going to complete the project. Project and set of modules equal to project, basically like this the entire project is going to be completed with the help of scrum framework and agile methodology. Like this we are seen here what is agile methodology, what is scrum framework, what are the rules of the scrum framework, what is sprint, what is task, how the tasks are defined, and how why the tasks are defined, and why the sprint came into picture, and in SDLC why the sprint came into picture, and why the user stories came into picture, how the project can be completed within few time frameworks. Sorry, set of modules can be completed in time framework, and set of modules basically are equal to one of project. Project can be a big project, but the modules basically has to be small. Like this basically we have seen here the agile methodology and scrum framework, like this basically. Thank you.